What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I hope you are having a rock star day. I know I am. As you can tell, if you're watching on YouTube, I've got the headband on, which means I just came from a workout, which means I am a little bit ramped up, which means this is probably going to get a little wild. This is going to get a little ranty. And I've made the decision, even before today's podcast, that it's time to get a little more disruptive. I need to be a little more disruptive with this opportunity in this channel. I hope you love that, but we got to change some shit. And today we're going to start by talking about the enemy of excellence. Before we jump into that, though, I'm going to quote the greatest race car driver of all time, the fastest man on four wheels, Ricky Bobby. And basically, Ricky says this: "I'm the best there is, plain and simple. When I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence." Now, some people might say, well, hey, Ricky, that's a lot of ego. That's a lot of boisterism, which is probably not even a word. That's a little radical for me. Like, I don't think I want to walk around talking about piss and excellence and being that kind of guy. But what you've got to understand about that is this: if you're not thinking of yourself as excellence, if you're not having thoughts of how do I show up in the world in the most excellent version of myself, then you're missing the boat. You're not going to get the life that you truly deserve and desire. And today's episode is all about helping you understand that you've got to create a life of excellence. But there's two pitfalls that are going to get in your way. There's two things that are in the way of you having an excellent life right now. Some of you are already pausing and be like, wait a minute, bro. Like, what do you mean excellent? Like, that seems like the highest of the high, the top of the mountain, the tip of the iceberg. And maybe it is, but isn't that where you want to be? And I'm going to explain this to you as we go along of why that's got to be your marker. That's got to be your point of emphasis. That's got to be what you strive for. And there's two things that are getting in your way. Number one is the word good. The idea that good is good enough could not be further from the truth. When I think of the word good, I think of the bottom of the barrel. I think of the lowest that I could possibly be. If somebody says, "Oh, you did a good job," it means I just showed up. Like, that's not going to be good enough. I don't care what area of my life that is. Good is not going to be good enough. Good nutrition is not going to give me the excellent body that I desire. Good money is not going to give me the wealth that I desire. Good relationships probably really suck. You know what I'm talking about? Good faith is probably no faith at all, or intermittent faith. That's what I think about good. Good is intermittent. Good is from time to time. Good is pockets of okay. Good is good enough. Like, that's the worst statement I could ever hear. Well, hey, that's good enough. It's not good enough. You can do better. You can be better. You can be more. You can do more. You can have more. But if you're stuck on looking for good, that's all you're going to get. And I hate to break this to you, but good is no longer good enough. When somebody says it is what it is, they're accepting a quote unquote good life, but it's probably not even good. They just tell themselves it's good, because telling yourself your life is shitty or telling yourself your life isn't what you want it to be, that's hard to do. That's painful. So you settle for good. And the next thing that's in your way is great. I hate to break this to you, but great is now average. And being average isn't going to get you the life you desire. It's not going to get you the life you deserve. Great is no longer anything. Great is average. I want you to think about average for a second. If you drew a line down the middle of a piece of paper, that's average. Look at that line now. It's the same distance to the top, which is excellence, and the bottom, which is good. So why on earth, first and foremost, would you want to stay there in the middle? But why wouldn't you want to go for excellence? Why would you ever want to down-regulate your life down to that good level where good is simply good enough? I mean, Jim Collins wrote a book called Good is the Enemy of Great. If you haven't read it, it's an old school book, definitely still worth a read. But it was one of the first times that I read the book, probably 10 plus years ago, that I thought about the concept. Good is the enemy of great. And now I hate to break this to you, great is the enemy of excellence. One of my core values is to live a life of excellence. And what that means is I cannot settle for great. I can't settle for, somebody told me the other day, well, I felt like I did a good job. And I said, you did do a good job, but that's not going to get you what you want. See, what you told me you wanted was this. And a good job's not going to be good enough to get that. A great job is not going to be good enough to get that. What you're going to have to be is excellent. And here's where excellence starts. Excellence starts in your psychology, in your mindset. If you're not thinking excellent thoughts, you're not going to have excellent actions. You're not going to speak excellent words. And if you just started to reframe your brain about, listen, the life that I really truly desire, the one that I'm afraid to tell everybody about, the one that I really want, the body, the money, the relationships, the job, the faith, everything. It's big, it's bold, it's awesome, it's excellent. Can you see how good is not going to get you there? And good, even repeatedly good, is not going to get you there. You're going to have to elevate your standards. You're going to have to elevate your standards from a place of, even if you're at the great level, where you feel like I'm doing great. In the world we live in today, that's simply just average. But I want you to remember that it's the same distance to go from great to excellence as it is to drop down and go from great back to good. So why not? Why not put all your effort? Why not put all your energy? Why not put all your everything into creating the excellent life that you deserve? I know you desire it. I know you want it. I know you think about it. You might not be telling anybody because it's scary. You don't want them to be like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, come on, little guy. Like, you're doing great. You're doing good. Your life's okay. You see, people who tell you that, their life's just okay. And truth be told, it's really not even okay. They're just saying it is because, like I said earlier, nobody wants to walk around and talk about how shitty their life really is, about how they really feel when nobody's around. See, what I want for you, what I want for me, what I want for us is excellence. I want you to be so freaking happy about the life you're living. But I also want, let's fall into another one of my belief systems, that you have to be ecstatically discontent at the same time. You have to be ecstatic about your life. Love it. This life is amazing. But I know there's another level. I know there's a next step. I know there's something more for me. I know there's more love I can give. And if I give more love, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get more. There's more. I can have more wealth. And you know what I can do with more wealth? I can change more lives. I can help more people. You know what I can do if I just took a little better care of my body? I could walk without pain. I could find clothes that fit. I could have a little more confidence when I walked into a room. I could be free from disease when I get older. Like, you see all those little things that you're thinking about. If you'll bundle those up in a ball of excellence, and you'll change the way you think, and you'll start having excellent thoughts. Let me give you a tip. Start having excellent level conversations, not these low level negative energy BS conversations that are going all over the place. Not this social media nonsense that we're all talking about, the ding, the this, the that, this person's, get out of here. That is the low, right now in the world we're living in, we are vibrating at the lowest level possible with the nonsense that we're participating in. That is not going to get you an excellent life. I'm not saying put your head in the sand and go on about your day and thinking nothing's going on. But I'm saying before you dive, it goes back to that podcast I did maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Don't step in the dog shit. Stepping in the dog shit is the lowest level of vibration and frequency. It's the lowest level of who you are. And what I mean by that is, I did a podcast and talked about when you see something on social media that triggers you to make a reactionary post back to that person, or to get in a Facebook fight, or to get in a real life fight about something totally nonsensical. That's the equivalent of walking down the sidewalk, seeing dog shit, and stepping in it instead of going around it. See, excellence doesn't step in the dog shit. Excellence knows that that's not worth my time. That's not worth my energy, because that vibration is that of average, is that of less than average. And that's not going to give me an excellent life. So start with the conversations you're having. Start having better conversations. Start having excellent conversations about awesome things, about new things, about things you're looking forward to. I did a talk recently, and I talked about how human beings, we need something positive and powerful to look forward to in our lives. I've always got something on my calendar that has me motivated to move to that next level of life. I've always got something. You've got to always have something too. And it's always got to be something you look forward to. See, a life of excellence is living in the moment, but also having that fire burning that you can see in the distance that you're walking towards, so you can get the things that you want to get. Excellence equals happiness, guys. And I'm not saying that you can't have moments of happiness at a good level, but couldn't you be happier? I'm not saying you can't have moments of happiness at a great level, average, but couldn't you be happier if you did these other things at an excellent level? Let's just pause really quick and ask ourselves some questions. What if I treated myself with excellence? Right? What if I treated myself with excellence? So let's think about that. Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive. All that means is this. What if I audited my inputs and I only allowed excellence into my life? Now, listen, I'm not naive enough to think that you're not going to hear things, like you're not going to be aware of things. But here's what you do with that. You either implement it or you delete it. So anytime something comes into your life on an input level, you make a decision right away. Is this something of excellence that's going to benefit me? Implement it. Is this something of nonsense or low energy vibration? Delete it. That's how you use the input, delete implementation to make your life better in a very, very fast fashion. So what if you audited your inputs to only allow excellence into your life? Excellent conversations, excellent things that you read, excellent things you listen to, excellent people to be around, right? How would the game change for you if you did that? Let's move to the next phase. What if I treated myself with excellence with the way that I fueled myself, the foods and the beverages that I put in my body? What would that feel like? What would that create in my life if I really looked at my life from a form of I'm only going to treat myself with excellence? How would that be? Different, right? Let's look at money. Let's look at money for what it is. Money is just energy. Money is just freedom. The more money you have, the more freedom of choice you have. Bottom line, whether you like it or you don't like it, that's just the way it is. Money creates freedom for people. So all that means is money is energy. And if the more wealth you have, right, and that's indicative of what you want out of your life. I'm not talking about billionaires, millionaires, hundredaires, whatever it is. It's the amount of wealth that you need to have the freedom that you desire. What if you just shifted to that? And you said, I want to live an excellent life when it comes to my wealth, meaning I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to go into a job that I absolutely hate because there's something out there bigger and better for me. I'm not recommending quitting your job today by any means. But what I'm saying is, if you're in that place where you're not living a life of excellence with the amount of wealth that you desire, with the job that you desire, and you're living a life of, this job's okay. This job's good enough. Good enough for what? Good enough for who? Because if it was good enough, you'd be living that life of wealth that you deserve and desire. You see what I'm saying? But just by changing the way you think about things, right? And then what that's going to do, that excellent level of treating yourself is going to transition and ripple into the way you treat everyone else around you. And then that's going to transition and ripple to the way they treat everyone else around them. You see, when your circle of success becomes a circle of excellence, the way we're thinking, the way we're speaking, the way we're acting, the way we're moving forward in life, the desires that we want, the dreams that we have, all the magical things that life really is, if we get out of that low level energy shit that we're kind of stuck in, and we start vibrating higher, we start thinking bigger, and we start wanting more for each other and for ourselves. See, abundance is abundant. Awesomeness is abundant. Wealth is abundant. Health is abundant. There's plenty for all of us. See, right now we're stuck in this mode of deprivation. We're stuck in this phase of there's not enough for everybody. And you're going to have to settle for this because we're going to take this. That's the most BS thing on the planet. God and the universe did not create this entire thing for us to feel and think and be treated that way, to treat ourselves that way. So you've got to flip that script on how you're thinking about yourself and your life and what you're going to tolerate, and stop tolerating anything from yourself and for yourself that is less than excellence. Guys, I could rant and do this for days, but I feel like I've driven this point home. My desire for you, my purpose for having this podcast, my purpose for having the Thrive Forever Fit program, the new Hero Academy that's going to be launching in December for 2022. My purpose for all of that is so that you can live a life of excellence. Because listen to me, I wouldn't be living a life of excellence on my own. I'm surrounded by amazing, awesome, excellent people. And that's the only reason that I'm able to always elevate my vibrational force field, to keep creating the life that I love, to keep creating the life that I desire, to keep walking toward that flame that I know is out there for me. It's because I'm surrounded by excellence, and I want that for you. So take some time to digest what I've said today. Take some time to think about the life that you're living. Take some time to think about, am I just living a good life? Am I just living a great life? Or am I living an excellent life? And is good getting in my way of being great? And is great getting in my way of being excellent? The answer is it is. But you got to find those places and spaces. So what I want for you guys to take away from this episode is this: you deserve excellence. It's in you already. You've just got to move some things away from over the top of it. You got to uncover it, let that flame start to burn, and then start getting around people who start thinking the same way, that want excellent lives, that are vibrating on a really high level. Start chasing that flame that's in the distance, that you know you deserve and you know you desire, and go after everything you want, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, do me a solid, like it, share it, subscribe, review it, do all the things. Do all of them. Like it, share it, subscribe, tell your friends, listen to it again. And lastly, if you're not part of my free Facebook group, right? I talked about Facebook a while ago. Biggest dumpster fire on the planet right now, but you can include all the other social media platforms inside of that. I'm just saying social media. I've got a free Facebook group called the Wellness Lab Launchpad. And what it is, it's a place that is void of all of that nonsense. It's a place of positivity. It's a place of support. It's a place of accountability. It's a place for you to get answers to questions without any agenda. It's a safe place. It's a free Facebook group called Wellness Lab Launchpad. I'd implore you to get yourself over there and get in that group as fast as possible. There's two ways to do it. You can either search Wellness Lab Launchpad on Facebook. It's a free group. It's private, though. I'm going to have to let you in. Or you can go to my website, thriveforeverfit.com. On the homepage, you're going to see a giant box that says, join the Wellness Lab. It's 100% free. It's big. It's orange. Click it. We'll let you in. You start communicating. You start having excellent conversations with excellent people, and you're going to watch your life start to move from good to great, great to excellent, which is what you deserve. All right. Love you. I'll see you next week. Be cool to yourself. Be kind to everybody else. Love you.